So guys, here's a quick recap for anyone who missed the previous episodes. This is how the car looked when we first started repairs at the beginning. There was extensive damage to lots of parts in the engine bay. The bonnet and inner and outer wing were totally destroyed, so I removed all the damaged panels, replaced them with genuine original parts and started the rebuild on the car. In this episode we will completely finish all the repairs, fit all the new parts and start this car up for the first time in 8 months, so stay tuned. You can see here the front end is looking a lot more complete than it did at the beginning of the last episode. So now we're going to get some seam sealer on these edges here, and also up in this arch we're going to get some seam sealer along these joins up here like they should be. So let's jack the car up, get that wheel off and get this painted. This video is kindly sponsored by Raid Shadow Legends. Right guys, let's play an epic game today from Raid Shadow Legends. If you've ever played this game you will know it has over 600 champions and an insane number of PvE bosses along with global PvP. So let's focus on just one of these bosses, the Dragon. The Dragon's main trick is Terrible Breath. It will use this every few turns when it rears up and prepares to breathe on you. When it does that, a chunk of its health bar will then turn purple. If you do enough damage to remove the purple bar of the health bar, it will cancel the attack. If you fail, the next turn Hellraiser will deal super heavy damage and stun your whole team. So try bringing champions that can put up shields if you want to try and tank Hellraiser's breath attack. They are also bringing 5 epic new champions for the Summer Splash events for the whole month, and you can get your hands on some incredible skins for everyone's favourite dwarf, Trunda. Raid is also currently running a special Deliana Chase event where you can get your hands on a new amazing Deliana just by logging in. Log in and play Raid for 7 days between now and July the 28th and you'll get Deliana for free. Deliana can help carry your team past many of Raid's tougher challenges, so you don't want to miss her. So new players, just enter promo code MyDeliana to get your hands on everything. Get a 50 XP boost to instantly get your legendary hero Deliana to max level 50 as well as a ton of silver. If you click on my link in the description or scan the QR code on the screen, you'll get a unique bonuses worth $30. This includes the epic champion Vergis, 200k of silver, 1 energy refill, 1 XP boost and 1 ancient shard, so you can summon these awesome champions as soon as you get in the game. So the seam sealer I'm going to be using today is a Opel grey stripe, very good seam sealer. Right, so the inner wing's got seam sealer on it now. You can see I didn't want to go too mad and make it too tidy because I wanted to look like a factory seam seal. But you can see what I do, instead of using a brush I use a cloth and it gives a much better factory look. You can see up in here I've done up in the arches as well. And when that's painted it will blend in really nicely. Once the seam seal is dried on a brush, you can't reuse it again with a cloth. You know, you've got plenty of cloths. So you can see with the tape off, it don't look a natural line. I'm obviously used to doing things really tidy, but with this car I don't want it to be looking unnatural. So I'm just going to go along here, just blend that line in so it actually looks like it was from the factory like that. So that's all the seam sealer done on the inner arches and the inner wing, and also seam sealed down the back there and along the front here. And I've done it just like it does from the factory. See, it's like just messy. The good thing about this stuff is it only needs an hour before you can overpaint with it. Right, so once that seam sealer dried, you can see here I put a little coat of it etch primer along all the seam sealer, just so we weren't on bare seam sealer when I'm putting on the base coat. So as you just see, that's all painted now. Now I was going to clear coat this, but it isn't clear coated from the factory. And I do actually like the matte look, and it's quite original, but it looks a lot fresher than it did, because when they paint it from the factory they only put like a thin coating on, and you basically, it's like a dull, you probably have to see it actually, so you can see that's nice and silver. If you look along here, it's like a dull silver, it isn't clear coated. I think I'm going to leave it matte like that because it does look good. And I don't really want it to look too fancy in your face when you open the bonnet. Problem is, now I've done this arch in here, it's going to show up the one under here, as you can see. And now, you know, I can't leave things alone. I'm going to have to do this inner quarter here as well. You can see the state of it. I'm going to have to pull all the wiring out and everything and do that side. Because you compare that side to that side, freshly done, and that looks nasty. So I'm going to have to take that apart and spray that inner arch as well. So I'm just cleaning up this inner wing now. See, I've pulled out all the wire and all the clips and everything. I've moved everything over so I can start sanding this down. But you can see in there where I've just removed like a sticker, and you can see the original colour underneath it, and you can see it's just a matte silver. That's why I don't want to clear coat this, so I'm just going to give this a sand down and a fresh coat of silver. Little tip for you guys, so if you're ever taping up or masking up awkward places that you can't really get to, or you know, wiring like this that don't end so you can't pull it out or whatever, instead of using paper and masking tape, just use some kitchen foil, wrap it around. You don't have to use any tape then. So that's the kitchen foil trick in action. You can see you can literally just wrap the wiring in kitchen foil, and you can do that with little intricate parts as well. And I see I've just tucked that out away with a bit of masking tape. The front end is all painted now, so I think it looks really nice. It was only a scuff and shoot job, you know, I haven't done anything concourse in here. I just wanted to freshen it all up, blend it all in so it actually looked tidy again, because obviously we need to get some paint on that. Blended it in along here. All up in the inner arch is all painted. Obviously you're going to have a cover going up there anyway, so you're not even going to see up there. Wing on this side as well, because I had to have it matching, otherwise it would have looked silly. So now everything's painted and we can start bolting things back on. So now it's time to start sorting out all this wiring, start bolting everything back in and getting this engine bay looking tidy again. So that is the bracket that come off the ABS pump. You can see it's all split and damaged and bent up. Luckily I've got spares of most stuff. You can see here, got a nice bracket here I found, so that replaced that. And the same with loads of other parts here. I'm just going to keep replacing little bits. This pipe here is all split. This water pipe here, got spare ones of them. So I'm just going to start replacing stuff, get all this loom in, tidied it up. So I'm just sorting all this loom out. It's a perfect time to replace this tape. You can see it's all started to fall off. Got some fresh Tesla tape here. It's what they use on the original looms, but you can see the stickiness after a while of a hot engine bay and years, and they start to come undone. So I'm going to retape all that lot up so it's nice and tidy. So after a bit of a delay, which you have not seen in this video, about 2 weeks worth, we've finally got some more parts for the Astra to rebuild it. So you can see here, most important part at the minute, a bonnet. Very good bonnet. No dents, no scratches, no marks, no stone chips in this bonnet, and in Star Silver 3, so no painting needed here. I had to drive quite a way to get this, a few hours away, 4-hour round trip I think it was to get that, but well worth it. So also we've got some bonnet hinges. As you know, the ones on the car all bent up from the crash. They got damaged when the bonnet got damaged. These are in white, so I'm going to give them a scuff down. You can see they've got the marks from the breaker's yard. I'm going to give them a scuff down, get some silver on them so they match. So there was no way I could find a genuine GM wing brand new other than in Europe, and it was going to take a couple of months to come, and I just wasn't having that. So we have here a low mileage wing off of, I think it was a 36,000 mile car. So there's no rust, no rot in this, no dents, no dings, no scratches. Absolutely perfect to repainted. If you know on these cars, they start to rust around this bottom area. You can see here, it's absolutely perfect, and you can see how clean it is inside here when you turn it over. So it's a perfect wing, genuine GM item. It's got all the corrosion protection up in here, so we're going to give that a scuff down. So I did want a wing that I didn't have to paint. It would have made it a lot easier, but there was just none out there, and I really wanted to get on with the car. All the ones that I could find in the original colour had dents, scratches, rust, the usual off the high mileage cars, and they were still wanting the same money as I paid for this wing. So the bonnets are pretty easy to come off of these cars. You can see just up in here there's 2 bolts either side. The bonnet hinge down the bottom there bolts onto the inner wing as well. You can see up there on that bracket, just unbolts off of there, and you can see why we've got to replace them. They're all twisted up. I'm going to start scuffing up this wing now to get some paint on it. You can see I've scuffed down these hinges already because obviously they were white, and then we can get them to silver. I've just removed some bits off of the wing, indicator lens and other parts that come on it. So now we can just start scuffing this down. I'm going to give it a bit of wax and grease remover first, just so we get any wax off it so I ain't rubbing that into the paint.
I feel nauseous, believe me. Never had a lot of shit come easy. Had to work hard, struggle just to be me. Had to rise up just so they could see me. Did what I had to do just to feed me, and what was left over I put towards my dreaming. But the only thing in life that has meaning are the things you gotta work for, believe me. Taking into your hands a plan. Your own hands can land your own brand. And damn, I feel like no one takes accountability. They want the credibility, convincingly unwilling to put in the hours it takes to get some power. Don't be f***ing sour, take a cold shower, scream until you're louder, work until you're prouder, and f*** all the doubters, they're just your downers. I swear to God they all let me down. I always fought just to wear the crown. I'm f***ed off at these f***ing clowns who were all taught they deserve an ounce. It's only worth it if you work for it. It's only worth it if you work for it. I won't stop till they hear me now. I won't stop till I wear the crown.
As you see, the wing is now all painted up, so I've finished that. It's been out for a couple of days in the sun, just been baking, and it's rock hard now. A little bit dusty out here, as you can tell. I'll give that a quick clean up before it goes on. Very happy with that. Just matched up against the car, as you will see, and the colour matches perfectly. I had that matched up, that tin of paint matched up a long time ago to the wing mirror cover, so that's spot on. So what I've got to sort out now is this inner wing section so we can get the wing on. First off, the washer bottle that sits up in here, it was pushed up against the wheel, as you see in the previous episode. You can see it ripped off all the wiring, destroyed the pump, destroyed the washer bottle. See there's a hole in there. So we've got a new one for that. There's got the sensor and everything that's there. So we've got to wire in some of this wiring to where it was ripped off. So we'll do that all properly, solder it in nicely. We've got to get the water ECU as well in there. And then we can get this wing on. And then we can start in this inner wing in here, finishing this off. Get the header tank in. We've got a new header tank for that because this one was destroyed as well. You can see it's split along there, and also I've got a new water hose because you see that one split along there as well. So these cars have two water pumps, an auxiliary water pump and the main water pump, and that's because at idle most engines cannot pump enough water through one water pump. So they have an electronic water pump that flows water around the system also for a little while after the car's off, just to keep the whole of the system nice and cool. This one was the one that was on the car. You can see it was leaking a little bit. It's damaged and the motor has actually give up. I just tested it. So we've got a new pump as well, got a couple of spares. Going to just check this one quickly. So you can see this pump here is actually working, but it's not flowing enough water as it should. You can see the flow on the water is actually quite weak. You'll see the difference between this and the pump we'll show you next. So this pump is absolutely working perfectly. You can see how much extra flow that this is producing. Well guys, as you can see here, I've been getting the front end back together. So you can see I've got the rad in, the headlights are in. I've got stock GSI headlights in there at the minute, which I'm not the biggest fan of. I normally run these shark eye headlights, and it means that I've got to do some wiring to the loom behind as well, because the wiring for the shark eyes, they're xenons, and these are normal halogen bulbs. So I've got to do some wiring to get them to work. I've only got a driver's side shark eye headlight at the minute. I just can't find a passenger one. If you've got a passenger shark eye headlight or a pair of them, please get in touch and I'll buy them off you. You can see here, I've just been mocking everything up, making sure everything's fit properly again. You can see I've got the battery tray in, header tanks in, all the wiring's in, the ECU's back in, you can see there. There's a cover to go over that. And I've been just tidying up all the wiring around this area here that obviously took the damage. So you can see here, I've got to get these fans back on. You've got the Spal twin fans to go on there. And I also want to put the AirTech intercooler, I want to pull it forward a little bit onto the bumper, so it gets a little bit better airflow, because the AirTech, they sit on the crash bar, which I'll show you, but it sits a little bit far away from the airflow of the bumper. I will give you a little rundown on the engine in the future. You can see it's not a stock engine. It's a fully forged engine. It's one of my 500 brake horsepower spec engines. It's just only running a KO6 stage 3 at the minute, so high 300s. But you can see here, it's, you know, verniers, cams, ported head, all the whole lot, forged engine. Right guys, so I've just fitted these fans to the car. They're on there nice and solid. Got the insulation rubbers in between them. They're not moving anywhere. So also, I forgot to tell you about the radiator I've got for the car. So basically, this is a 2 litre DTI radiator. It's a little bit thicker than the stock Z20 LET radiator, so it holds more water and it will keep the engine a little bit cooler, especially throughout the summer months. This is for a manual car, not an automatic car. Make sure you always get the radiators that are for manual cars and not automatic cars, because they have bungs on the side of them for the automatic cars, for automatic transmission fluid, and about a third of the radiator is taken up by that section of the automatic transmission fluid cooling ability. So now it's time to mount this intercooler how I actually want it to be mounted, other than how AirTech mount it, where they mount it way too far up and behind the bumper. Doesn't get any airflow. So I've just knocked up these mock-up brackets you can see here, just so I can get an idea of how much lower I want to have the intercooler. You can see the stock brackets that were here sat the intercooler around there, so it's probably dropped another 3 inches or so. So it's well into the bumper mouth now, so you're going to get some proper airflow. And you can see basically where the dirt sort of line stops around there, and this half was all tucked behind the bumper, so pretty much half of the intercooler was stuck behind the bumper, and I wanted to drop that as low as possible. Then we're going to give this a fresh coat of paint. They're not the brackets that are going to stay on the car. There's also another bracket that goes on the top here, which I've just mocked up inside there. So you can see this one is for this top one. There's plenty of clearance in there, as you can see. That's the benefits of having a slimline fan setup. So now the brackets are all made up in tube. You can see nice and strong, proper solid on there. Obviously we've got this extra bracket that sits on the top on the crash panel, but the main thing was I wanted the intercooler to be able to hang and not have to worry about taking the crash panel off with the intercooler on. You can take the crash bar off and leave the intercooler on, and that's how I like the cars to be. So that's solid on there as it is, but it's got another mount to go on there as well. Going to give that a quick coat of paint. I've just filled it up with antifreeze, you can see, and I'm going to bleed the system now, and we're going to get it started. So guys, it's about that time to get this car started. It's not been started up for a long time. So first off, I'm going to turn the car over, get some oil pressure up first. To do that, I'm going to take off the crank sensor. So literally just unplug the crank sensor off of here, and then we've got no fuel, no spark. The car will just turn over, get oil pressure. I've just checked the oil level, everything's spot on. We're going to give it an oil change before it goes out on the road anyway. Got oil filter ready to go for that. Massive transformation for how it was about 2 or 3 episodes ago. All genuine GM panels, done to the highest quality. So there you go, guys. As you've just seen, the car is now complete and the engine is running again. I've just gone ahead and repainted in cooler. It's going to look a lot better behind that GSI bumper. It's going to fit a lot better too. Hope you enjoyed this episode and I'll join you on the next one.